My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slice and Dice, where this number still isn't high enough. Back in a blurs mode. Choose 2 blessings, looking at preparation. At the start of the first turn, shield 2 to all allies, save spell. Once per fight, but it is heal and shield 5 cleanse. Single cast. Boss smash for during boss levels, all heroes get +1 to all sides in boss level. Potential during the 5th turn, +3 to all allied sides. Vitamin E. +1 max HP for each E in your name. Honestly, I don't love these. I really don't, in fact. They're all kind of slow and minimal, or large and sudden. I'm looking for something a little bit more persistent. We've got the Cultist, the Acolyte, the Squire, the Hoarder, and the Dabble here. Oh man, that is a good team, but I think I'm going to re-roll here. Oh, baby. Shiny, +2 to item quality. Jeweled Chalice, first 4 turns, you get +1 mana. Leyline, the 3rd spell you cast each fight, is free. Save spells come back to us, so is Lucky Start. First turn, get +2 rerolls. I'm definitely taking Shiny. I know, I feel a little, you know, taking Shiny so consistently. I don't know if I've just chosen definitely the best blessing from the outset. I definitely have a bias towards it. And, you know, science would ask me to try other things, gather more data, and then come back with a new idea. However, I really like Shiny. Come on, let me just have it. I'm taking a random one as well. Fizzing. At the start of the first turn, +2 mana. Neat. Alright, we're up against a Cronin and Archer here. Let's just get some damage on some characters if we can. 2 defense from the Alloy. The bolstering of incoming damage after the fact from the vulnerability provided by the Ruffian. And we'll work our way through with our bursts. Whirl and Enchanter. Also, I have now officially replaced my mouse. I am much, much happier with this one. Although my movements will not necessarily be as accurate just yet because... Wait, hang on, is that... Okay, that's a little bit more how I used to have it. I don't know. It's just slightly off in all different ways for the correct mouse sensitivity for me, so now I just need to retrain all of my muscle memory. So if I misclick anything, that is my bad, but I shouldn't be double-clicking anything anymore. Goodbye, Logitech. Whirl for the AoE damage. I do really like AoE damage. Unfortunately, we give up our largest single instance of damage in order to get it. If the Ruffian does upgrade into the Whirl here, I know that the Scoundrel's going to need to upgrade, like, heavy in terms of its damage direction. Because otherwise, I'm going to be very, very capable of doing everything to everyone except for the target that suddenly does need to die. Your Fanatic, your Boss, your Slime Queen, your etc, 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 so on and forth. There is also Enchanter here. You know what? I really do feel like Enchanter's, like, just a touch weak. But you know what? You know what it is? It's when I use Enchanter, I feel like a lot of the time self-heal and self-shield are relatively indistinct from one another. And that might just be my problem. Because I don't tend to look at things in... Hello? Sorry. One of my audio devices was working slightly weirdly there. Hopefully that hasn't changed too much. I don't tend to look at things in terms of, like, what would you call it? Like, in-action usage? Like, I never tend to take, like, a bunch of different tools and then try and figure out how they work together in a fight. Instead, I usually intend to take a character and then use them in collaboration with something I already have, or look to get something that then efficiently synergizes with that character. All of this to say that I think often when I take the Enchanter, I'm specifically looking for a combo for the Enchanter to be good in, rather than looking for the opportunities the Enchanter is just powerful. Like, self-shield on a side that doesn't have pain, and you actually generate the defense on yourself, that's pretty good. Same with the self-heal and self-shield. Maybe it's a lot more versatile than I'm treating it. I'm taking the Whirl. I realized about halfway through that the only way for me to pay off the ending of that long diatribe would be to immediately ignore what I said to myself. I guess I also stand by the decision. All right. Let's gather to get some mana out of the Initiate and the Scoundrel. One of the reasons I wasn't so sad about the idea of rolling a bunch of fails on that one. In fact, we'll make the Goblin run away as I burst, and burst all the remaining rats. Lucky and earn. Oh, and enduring to the middle side. Enduring keywords remain with the change. The side is changed, rather, if possible. We could give the Initiate the ability to give us 2 mana on the cantrip sides. That is pretty neat. I do really like a Lucky, but I mean, on the Scoundrel, it inherits Cleave. On Alloy, it inherits double use, Splint, single use, and Growth on the Initiate. I'm taking the Earn. I think if we were later on in the cycles, like maybe if we were in loop 3 or something like that, so, 40 plus in terms of our floor, then I might make the opposite decision here. But now I'm just going to take Earn, noting that this is an enabler for other things. It is not useful at the moment. Both heavily targeting the Splint there. Unfortunately, well, if you attack 2 at the same time, you will die. I want no one to attack 2 at the same time. Okay, if I burst my own whirl 2 times, I can give them enough armor to survive attacking here. And then hopefully I save... Oh, no, of course, they just run away. Thank heck. Druid and Mycologist on offer. Considering the middle sides, the Mycologist is not really going to want anything to inherit Decay. Druid doesn't really want anything to inherit Growth, necessarily. Balance 1 damage to all enemies as well as 1 damage to... 1 heal to all of our own. We do already have some access to AoE courtesy of the Whirl. May not necessarily need something like that. Hey, actually, speaking of the fact that we have access to AoE courtesy of the Whirl, a lot of the time the Mycologist with the ability to suddenly pump that side by +1, also giving it Decay, is an excellent way to end a fight. I'm gonna take the Mycologist. I seldom find the opportunity to actually take the Mycologist and feel good about it. I'm happy to be in that circumstance now. Yeah, split damage from the enemy, Alloy. That is a very effective defense for you. I'll take that. That's good enough. I wonder if maybe I should defend 3 more here. Yeah. Heal and shield 1, cast cleave. Yeah. Then I burst you. Well, actually, if I'm bursting you 2 times at the end of it, why don't I save those resources and just burst to keep my targets healthy? Okay. I think that's fine too. Unfortunately, we do 1 damage, the enemy regenerates 1, we've done nothing. Well, we've done nothing except for, lose some of our resources that we kind of do need. Some of those were single use, some of those were decay. In fact, we are really bad at doing damage directly to a target. It almost feels like Scoundrel needs to lock in instances of 1 damage, but if we get the Scoundrel's vulnerability, that's where we can really pop off, because we can suddenly cast a bunch of spells. Okay. Ooh, unfortunately, I also don't have Gather at the moment, because we lost the... Apprentice? Initiate. We also Initiate to get the Mycologist here, so I don't have the ability to gather more mana. Well, first burst out at the troll. There's that big damage AoE I was kind of expecting to see. Mycologist, you are gonna need to grow your damage over this fight. I almost dang guarantee it. Defend a character by 1 as well as deal 1 damage is one of the worst outcomes here possibly for us on the Alloy. Ooh, this is one of our best outcomes. Actually, in fact, it's probably worth Spore to make 2 vulnerability out of that, and then a burst for 4 damage, a burst for 4 damage, a strike for 3, and then Whirl kills. Yeah, so the Mycologist having the ability to amp attacks like that from the Scoundrel right now, huge, deeply important. Almost makes me feel like the Scoundrel's upgrade towards Trapper is very justified. Dueling Pistol adds duel to the left side, ×2 to targets who are targeting me. On the Whirl, just anyone who's targeting me takes 2 damage from it instead. I really do like that. There's also the Ritual Dagger there. I'm going to be taking this. Eye Mold and Arthritis. Tier 3 heroes get -1 health. I am more than happy with that one. Oh, annoying. Okay, because 1 damage to all enemies doesn't have a target, because it's not like 1 damage cleave, where you define a target and then it chooses targets relative afterwards, it just activates. Cannot use duel as a keyword, so we're gonna have to put that on the Scoundrel. Rough. Still not gonna change the fact that we are looking for AoE here on the opening turn as best we can get it. I will settle, however, for just the cleave, rather than looking for the best side on Whirl. Everyone else should push, though. Good enough mana, good enough mana. Hey. The goal here being entirely... Actually, I'm also going to Spore the Alloy to defend for 2 and give 2 mana back. So I keep the same mana amount, but I managed to keep the Splint alive without having to use a burst as well. Actually, there might have even just been a version of the right damage against the right targets there that would have kept us healthy. Alas, it no longer matters. Juggler and Priestess. I mean... Splint is very powerful right now due to the fact that the fights do not go particularly long, so 3 mana, 2 mana, and 1 mana on single-use sides is actually a really, really good mana setup for a red character to have. Priestess, I do like your spell, heal and shield 1 to all dying allies. It is a good one. Juggler is offering a large output of damage. And a lot of combo potential. That's a cantrip side. And take the Juggler. Also a possibility that it does, 4 damage with opportune hits there. Alloy, you may keep your largest defense side. Splint, you may keep your second most effective. Wait. Only the 3 damage side from the Whirl is going to be enough to overkill to get the Bandit to run away. Well, actually, this barrel, when it explodes, does 5 damage to the snake. So if the snake has taken 2 damage and then the barrel dies, we also lose the Bandit on the bottom side. And then only 1 defense against the Splint is required, and we already have that covered. So I just need... just need slightly more damage, and we're fine. That's not what we're looking for, but the Mycologist will do it. Okay. So we split damage here, 1 damage there, and then I just need the barrel to explode, doing 5 damage to the snake, making the Bandit run away. Why did the... Wait, hang on. Why did the top Bandit run away? The barrel next to it died to exact damage, which means that when the barrel next to that Bandit died, that triggered a new pseudo board state of the snake being adjacent to both bandits, and then the death factor of the barrel went off, overkilling the snake, making both bandits run away. That's the only way that works, right? Interesting. That's a... Oh, what? Ladder! Urn and ladder. Replace the middle side with the hero above's base side. Oh, here's one. This alloy now has a deal 3 damage double use side. This juggler could have a 2-mana decay cantrip side if they really wanted to. Bang. Bang. There we go. Double use enduring. Putting that on you. Unfortunately, gets the decay cantrip version. There's our 1 damage cantrip enduring on Whirl. Not really what they want. Double use, single use. Unfortunately, after the first use, it disappears, so obviously not what we're looking for. Single use decay enduring. No, obviously this is going on the alloy. Super cool. Alloys all geared up to do ridiculous damage sometimes. 1 damage in AoE actually might be a bit weak for the Whirl, who can do a lot better than that on the 3. Alloy, that's... Is that enough? No, push. Yes. Yes, here we go. 2 damage takes out the Colts in the top line with perfect. The Cyclops is vulnerable to being stunned. If we manage to do enough damage on that first turn, which we do, following up the remaining 5. All of that coming out of the alloy. There you go. Monk and Herbalist. Ooh, Herbalist giving access to Vine. And very consistent mana generation as well. Inheriting the top side, keeping, if possible... No, that's not good on the Herbalist. No, Repel on the Monk isn't good either. Yeah, I'm taking the Herbalist here. I'm very happy with it. Needn't have queried it as much as I did. Agnes, Gither, and McGrath, hello. One day I will actually read Pratchett's work. I feel like it's like something I decide to do every week, and then I remember that I'm actually not great at keeping up with reading, and all I have to do is forget like the last couple of pages, and then it's like, well, cool, I'm never going to engage with that book again. What I really need to do is just listen to the audiobooks of it, but also then, you know, what if my mind wanders for just a second and then I miss the most important paragraph and, oh my god, the prose was so perfectly comedic and dense in that section, you know. It's like, I feel like I need to engage with the work because I respect it from an artistic degree, but also that my engagement with the work could not match the respect that is required for it. One of these days I'll work my way out of that mental trap right there. But until such a time, I'll just have to settle for killing Gither quite quickly here. Actually, I'm going to spore up the AoE attack from Whirl. Seems one of the most efficient actions I can take. Alloy kills Gither. Juggler, you are being targeted by everyone, so you do double damage to Agnes on the top there. And then I just burst, and you know what? We'll even do it perfectly. Vine. Crushed. Beat a boss fight on the first turn. Unlocks an item spell. I can't believe that's the first time we've done that. Strange. But it did unlock a new... Oh. Also, by the by, I just realized, or rather I did realize last episode at the very, very end when the comments started coming in and saying, hey, Raps, you could have gotten the Pair of Kings and would have unlocked another hero. I'm so sad. If I ever see the Pair of Kings again, I'm getting it. Scales, max, and tie. That's pristine to the middle side. Times 2 if you have full HP. And scales. Set the value of the rightmost side to the maximum of your other side's values. Herbalist could get 2 poison single use. Mycologist could get the ability to revive 3 people at a time. Alloy, unfortunately, I don't have an extra slot, so they can't get the 3 engage strike, and no one else has anything they could hold for it. I mean, putting that tie on the Whirl or something like that, being able to just do 6 damage in the opening turn is pretty ridiculous. And the middle side is pretty much always a good side for that. Gold Snake must be equipped, start poisoned, or at the start of the second turn, shield 1 to all enemies. Start of the second turn. Let's do that. Taking armor. Double damage on that Whirl, if you will. Especially to take out these Luduses in a single hit. I almost don't want the juggler to roll again, because that's 4 damage you're currently committing to doing to the Soodle on the top side. The Grave is exceptionally easy for us to remove. Specifically because it just dies to 3 instances of Vine. And then we do 1 damage and another Vine, and there goes the Soodle on the top line. No one does any damage this round. I mean, the Soodles did all very generously low roll the absolute hell out of their turns. And in fact have done so again. Thank them muchly. Ooh. Goodbye, y'all. Cleric and Armorer. Ouch. Neither of these have keywords on that middle side, eh? All of our others are already upgraded to their tier 2 class, so I know none of them have any pain sides. So I know the Cleric isn't getting significantly much better. I know that the Armorer giving better smithing sides via a Mycologist's DK boost and better cleaving sides. Honestly, it's just got to be the Armorer here. I don't really want it to be in this instance, but it has to be. Empty Chalice. If you have 0 mana at the end of the turn, +1 mana. For fighting another Quartz as well as a Soodle. This won't even help us this fight, really. No, I don't think I can take that. Replace with the Hero Who's Above. Middle mate. I mean, there we go. I can just replace that, and now it's got 2 mana. Yay. Yeah, unfortunately, we are back in the realm of enduring no longer being good. Oh well. We'll get it back. Jinx S. The second dice you use each turn gains single use. So that's already occurred to... Well, I guess just the next dice I happen to use, which is going to be one of the cantrip sides from the Juggler. Oof. Really didn't want to lose that one. That would have been a great way to do 4 damage to the Juggler, the zombie on the top side. Okay. Let's throw a... I guess I'll Spore that for a little extra damage. And in fact, if I set you down to 1 HP, we'll just watch you flee in the next round. Dragon Pipe and Charge Link. Dragon Pipe, +1 to all heal and self-heal sides. Pretty good on an Herbalist who's now getting 2 regen out of that. Charge Link adds charged and single use at the top and bottom sides. Bonus equal to your current mana, and obviously you cannot use it again. Bonus equal to your current mana. I mean, bonus equal to our current mana would give 2 damage cantrip, but unfortunately there's single use sides as well. I mean... Honestly, Charge Link for the Herbalist's regen sides, that's not bad either. Although I do really like the idea of taking Dragon Pipe, which leaves us open to... Actually, which red final tier character really wants +1 to all... I mean, Fate. +1 to all heal and shield sides. Triple dipping consistently, getting a heal, a shield, and a mana gain out of each of those boosts. There's Prophet. I mean, +1 to all of your sides is always, you know... A lot of these characters are going to be fine with it, but who really benefits? Surgeon really benefits. Every single one of those sides. Shaman doesn't really care as much. Wraith doesn't care almost at all. Forsaken... a little. Doctor a lot. Yeah, Dragon Pipe is really good. I just need to remember to actually use the regen sites. They're so powerful. Okay, there's 1 damage to everyone. Actually, that's enough damage to take out the chest on the top line immediately just between the 2 of those actors, so we will definitely let them. Excellent. So, well does 1 damage to everyone. Chest on the top line dies to our Juggler. Then let's defend the Mycologist, heal and regen the Whirlwind. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna Spore the Whirlwind first as well. Slightly more damage out there. It doesn't matter on the chest on the top side because that's already lethal there, but it does set us up to be able to use 2 bursts to take down each of these imps. 1 and 1. Getting 2 extra items after this fight. They are only between level 0 or 2, but that could be really, really important and really impactful, especially in combination with the urn. Sometimes I do feel a little sad when I have shiny, and shiny gives me +2 to item quality, so I'm only finding, 2s by base if I would otherwise find a 0. And sometimes I miss out on the opportunity of getting the items that do make the nuttiest combinations with something like urn, because like Big Heart gives you a large side. It gives you 5 magnitude effectively on your middle side of the die, which if you're inheriting the other keywords, you can do a lot of work with that. Have done in the past. Yeah, Armor, you're going to want a large individual defense for a person. Herbalist, that looks good though. Good work. So I'm mostly just intending to throw mana at this character until they're dead. Can't reroll with the Juggler again, they will die. That gives the Juggler the ability to do 2 damage by themselves. Never mind, we got it. Get him well. Cleanse Potion. Replace the rightmost side with Heal 21 Drink Cleanse and Infuse Herbs. There. Roulette versus Wanderer. I'll tell you the concern that exists within my soul right now. Roulette, we don't have a way to change the sticky mandatory death side, so as a result, we're just constantly rolling with the possibility that we're about to kill Roulette. Bigger concern, Wanderer has quad use on their middle side, which gives Wanderer the ability to hold an urn, give quad use to whatever they inherit using the ladder from whoever I upgrade the Juggler into. If I had both of these, not that I can, but if I had both of these, I would have the middle side here as 5 damage quad use. I'm gonna take the Wanderer. Do I take 4? Because I can't use the Decay Growth from Mycologist, right? I'm using Armorer's Smithing in order to make Wanderer's attacks better, if I'm doing it at all. I mean, obviously I can make it Pristine as well. That's a really good place to start. Let's give you a healing on that side as well. This Enduring effect's not really particularly relevant on anyone at the moment. And the heal to regen cleanse mana cost. The fact that this does have cleanse attached to it makes me feel like I should still put that on the Mycologist. Just in case poison gets to be too big of a problem for us. Alright, let's go. I really, really, really want to see who that Juggler is going to upgrade into for us now. Armor, that is such a good side to hit with the Spore and then hit Wanderers. Oh man. We did just lose a lot of our AoE as well, as something I'm quickly realizing right now. Okay, the Wanderer can cause one of the bones to murder themselves there. I'm gonna Spore the Armorer, giving them the ability to poison the Rotten by 3 from the Herbalist. I think that's gonna be one of our best ways to really kind of manage this battlefield. Offense is the best defense. So actually, what I'm gonna do here then instead is Wanderer, you target the bones on the bottom side. We we definitely still have to do the Spore and all of that. But now we use a Burst and a Vine and one strike from the Juggler to kill one of the bones on the top side, saving the Mycologist. I can totally see another turn where I don't try and set up that poison on turn 1, but I think that turn probably could end up losing. Whereas I feel like this one doesn't have that as a possibility either. Yeah, there's the regen and the poison. Okay, cool. 3 from the Wanderer is enough to take out the bones on the bottom side still. Never mind, it's more than is even needed for that bones. 3 damage and 1, then 2 and 2. Beautiful. Just the Rotten versus all of the rest of us. All of the rest of us happily comfy on our HP at this point. In fact, I think this is already the kill, just between these and goodbye Rotten. Serration and Cocoon. Cocoon adds error and -1 to all sides. Error gives +1 at the start of each turn. I mean, giving -1 to both of the Wanderer sides, this already has error. I would give it -1 as well. I don't know if I want to do that to the Wanderer. Wow. Although a Cocoon on the Juggler just growing bigger over time, I do really kind of like the idea of that. There's also Serration, adds vulnerable to the top and bottom sides. Vulnerable to the top and bottom sides being on the Wanderer would also be sick. That ends fights so well. What am I turning that down? No. Slow spells? No, don't offer me slow spells. I've got Fizzin. At the start of the turn, +2 mana. Archery training, Archer and Sniper get +2 to all sides. Oh boy. I don't want to only have 3 spells per turn because I really do like using Vine. I'm taking a random tier 1. Sandstorm at the end of every 3rd turn, 1 damage to all allies. Very fine with that one, actually. Quite comfortable, in fact. Setting up vulnerability on targets via the cantrip would also actually be pretty cool. Actually, it's even cooler. Oh my god, Juggler, please do not just randomly die when you attack someone here, if you could. We'd have the Null die in response with an attack from the Wanderer here by inflicting pain on that Null and then having them die to their own attack. I'd like to avoid that if possible. Juggler, you really can't avoid attempting to attack enemies directly when you need to not. No, that's not going to save us there, unfortunately. So we can kill the Wanderer on the top side, we can defend the Juggler, and then defend. Oh my gosh. Defend, then... Still can't take that out and live unless I also then Vine you. Honestly, probably worth it, considering these two can both be nullified next turn. Either I can nullify the Cyclops by damaging them enough, or I can nullify the the Cyclops by damaging it enough to stun it, or the Null by damaging it enough to kill it. Interesting. Very interesting here. Yep, we're gonna lose a character. We should probably not let it be the Wanderer, honestly. So let's generate mana, use Spore, defend them, and wow, even that's not gonna get us even close, right? Yeah, really not. Wow, Raps. Buddy. You absolutely screwed that one up. Woof! Alright. Time for us to be threatened. My cultures I really would prefer. Yeah, just some clean mana, thank you. That stuns the Cyclops on the top line. Then I just have to make sure that no one dies to Sandstorm. And hopefully this is not it. There we go, take the Cyclops down. Cyclops. Ooh. Fencer. Well, that is interesting. So the Fencer would give the Wanderer 1 damage... Sorry, wait. Would give the Wanderer quad use 1 damage to all enemies. I don't know if that's good. The Forsaken would happily hold the infused herbs. I really would like to take the Forsaken based on the idea like, oh, I can use heal 2 to all other allies consistently, but it's one side on a 6-sided die. I've got 2 rolls per turn. You know, I'm rolling 1 at the very start of the turn, 2 rolls per turn. It's like 40%-ish. Oh boy. The Fencer does offer the ability to dodge attacks themselves. Also has 2 damage double use. That is a great side hit with Serration. That's what I'm doing. Having Serration on those W sides gives us the ability to do 2 damage with the first strike, 4 damage with the second strike, and then just ruin the life of whoever happens to try to exist after that. How dare they? Yeah, this is nothing. 1 damage to all enemies, quad use, enduring. Pristine on the middle side for the Herbalist to generate more mana. That's pretty good, though. Sure. Double damage to targets that are targeting you there, Fencer. And no one needs that potion at the moment. Do I really want the Wanderer to have that? I like Pristine for more mana generation. I actually do think that's a pretty good idea. The fact that the Armorer can bolster the Wanderer while doing this is a little bit of a selling factor for it. It's probably not super relevant in this fight, considering the Hydra is probably just going to want to take the 4 instances themselves. Oh, baby. So Fencer is actually... Wow. Wow! Excuse me? Video game? What are you doing? Give me everything I need. You're supposed to play coy for a while. Okay, we give Spore to the Armorer. The Armorer now gives Wanderer the ability to do 3 damage to all enemies, quad use, enduring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, of course. Not that many times. Then I'll just murder the Hydra on the top side, and the Alpha immediately afterwards. Helm of Power and Chaos Wand. Chaos Wand. Replace the middle side with 1 damage single use cleave, engage, self-heal, weaken, and vulnerable. Now, no. Yes, that does technically work with the latter, right? So, like, add enduring to the middle side, I would be able to add... I can't add quad use to it because it also has single use, so single use will override. There's no keyword I can actually give to the Chaos Wand here, unfortunately. And I can't do Chaos Wand, earn, and then ladder afterwards because I only have 2 slots. Helm of Power. I do like the idea of Helm of Power and Duel being on the... Helm of Power, Pristine, and Duel all being on the same side does mean that that would have, you know, a ×2 multiplier, ×2 multiplier, ×2... The possibility of just murdering an enemy immediately? That's actually really cool. Oh, you can hear me smiling, can't you? Oh, I'm actually just... yeah, I've decided to take that. Thing is, no one needs to take that much damage in this fight right now, so we'll stand off of that and give the Mycologist the ability to generate 6 mana in a single turn. So glad I didn't take slow spells. Okay. Fencer is being heavily targeted. But that is definitely your worst side in pretty much every available way. Yeah, Armorer, you would have to target one of the ogres, like, blank. It's not a good look for you. I think we push one more time. Nice. So part of that push was giving the Fencer the ability to grow during their vulnerable strikes here. So I'm going to strike this snake and this snake. Good. There's 2 vulnerability on the top one, 3 vulnerability on the next. Each of them dies to a single vine. And guess I'm just gonna get the other snake to deal 2 damage to itself. Nothing wrong with that. Herbalist. Would love you to be able to do that comfortably and safely and healthily and all such, but alas, not at the moment. There's our quad strike from the Wanderer. Happy to see it. Gonna need to keep the defense on the Armorer, unfortunately. Yeah, setting up vulnerability in advance of that, though, ooh, really helpful. So, set up 2 vulnerability on both of the Ogres, so each of them is taking 3 damage to each of these loops from the Wanderer. It's working so well. Prophet and Valkyrie. Valkyrie offering the ability to just keep things alive. Unfortunately, it does move away from our ability to buff the Wanderer via the smithing side, which is actually pretty important to me. And then there's also the Prophet here. The Prophet here does... They have less ability to utilize, you know, Vine. And Vine, in particular, is ridiculously powerful for us. But they do have the ability to give us Soothe, heal 1 to all allies, and regen. And if we cast that enough times, and we generate enough mana to cast that a lot, if we can cast that enough times, life gets very easy and very comfortable for us. Gonna take the Prophet. The Prophet obviously is gonna take the Dragon Pipe there. At Pristine in the middle side, the ability to give someone just 10 max HP. Yeah, do still really like that. Although, the Helm of Power for the Heal 8 rescue is also really good. But I can't put myself in another position where I often do, which is I get one very, very good side and I keep rolling looking for it. And then when I don't get it, I cry. Sadly, the Slate is going to be a lot harder for us to kill than it ever has before. I'm going to just quickly, if I spore my Armorer and then now you're doing 10. Kills the Troll King, single hit. Cool. Yeah, so, I mean, that's what we're gonna do with that character. Now, what does everyone else do with all of the mana they have? It's good enough. Well, yeah, it's good enough. Wanderer does at least 1 instance of damage. Boom. So cool. And if I, double burst on my own party, I have 4 HP, or rather they have 4 HP, I have way more than that. I was seeing if it was possible I was going to get them down before I needed to with a fully on their side. 1, and 2, and 3, and just big amount of max HP to someone. They run away. Diamond Skull. 2 max HP upon death. +1 to all allied sides this fight. Mithril Shield adds cantrip to all shield and self-shield sides. Yeah, absolutely. Lead Weight. Replace the top and bottom sides with blank. I could put that on the Mycologist, but I don't really like having to have that on someone specifically. All big enemies such as Troll, 2 max HP. Sure. Mithril Shields. For our Armorer, you may now actually hit people with the Smithing Cantrip mid-turn. Very good to see. Ugh. Okay. A lot of stuff going on this enemy board. Fencer, you do manage to roll aside, which that is not an instant kill on the Fanatic, but it's 1 damage short, so we only need AoE coming out of someone, anyone, obviously the Wanderer, right, for that to be fine with us. We have the ability to inflict pain on an enemy, but the thing is, all the enemies that are attacking with a large magnitude already have pain on their attack. So it doesn't really seem like it's helping or changing anything. Okay. If I burst, that kills the barrel, that kills 2 wisps. In killing those 2 wisps... You know what? I actually need to let that Fanatic attack me on the top side. That's completely fine. So we're doing that, and then we're just bursting to defend the Mycologist afterwards. 2 wisps, 1 Fanatic off the scene. Next Fanatic is a lot easier for us to attack as well. It's a lot of mana and heal. Wanderer, that's one of your best sides at the moment. Just being able to take out the Fanatic in a single attack is pretty good. Vulnerability is huge. Okay, Armorer, did you... Who'd you tinker? I guess they must have tinkered on someone who doesn't even have damage as a stat. Okay. Armorer, tinker on the Fencer on the top side. Let's lose the Fanatic that's otherwise murder. So both of these Fanatics are currently killing targets on the board. I can set up... Murder on 1. And the other Fencer is harder to defend. Hang on. There has to be a way here that does keep them both alive. Actually, I think it's just killing the Fencer that's targeting the... Or the one that's targeting the Fencer rather than the Mycologist. And then defending the Mycologist with a burst. That'll do it. Prophet unfortunately does have pain on their sides here. But hopefully they will not even need to contribute to the fight. Excellent. A little bit of AoE damage, and murder the Fanatic. Level 18. Ooh! Stalwart. Stalwart and the Sorcerer. So, Sorcerer, you would be able to give cantrip to an inherited heal 5 pristine side? That's pretty cool. But honestly, it might not be enough. The Stalwart, however, all of these shields, they're coming out on mithril speed, on cantrip speed. And it gives us access to cleanses, which we otherwise do not have much access to outside of the infused herb. I'm going to be taking it. Cool. Up against the Core Basilisk Fanatic and another Core. Unfortunately, no one's attacking the Fencer, so we're not getting any benefit out of the duel that they do have, but we will still get the 6 damage. That's good enough. Stalwart, you do need to continue rolling, obviously. As you have cantrip signs, and I would like you to use them. 6 mana out of the Mycologist and 10 max HP out of the Prophet. Not turning that down. Okay. So if I Spore the Fanatic, you actually go up to 8 damage, which is unfortunately just short of being able to take one of the core off the field. But it'd be a really good setup in terms of damage for the Basilisk. I mean, yeah, the Fencer is probably going to want to use the other sides for the rest of this fight. I think this is actually a good idea. Or I could just set up against the core. Getting the core down as quickly as possible is very important here. The only reason we're not dealing with them right now is because, well, we could block ridiculously. Sure, but I'm also going to play... Do I need to keep you pristine? No, not really. I'm going to play a little bit defensive here. Thankfully, no one's trying to do any big negative effects. They're just doing damage this round. There we go. The Basilisk has to ruin it all by trying to poison us. Fencer, that also does now have duel, so we can take out the... or try and take out the Basilisk with it. Especially if we Spore it. Keep going on everyone else. Stalwart, I really don't want the 5 damage out from you just yet, I don't think. Wanderer, you can make the core on the bottom line kill themselves. Okay. Core on the bottom line is now going to die from their own actions. Single burst takes out core on the top line. A Spore gives us 6 damage, and now that is doubled again when attacking this Basilisk for me. Actually, hang on, they're gonna have 3 health come next round. Are they gonna run? Yeah! Blue skink. I saw you standing alone. Replace all sides with the hero below's base sides, retaining your side's keywords. Retaining your side's values and keywords. Okay. So the Fencer would have a 6 damage pristine inflict pain single use side on their leftmost. They would have Error growing these W's vulnerable sides. Hero below's base sides, retaining your side's values and keywords. What? Wait. Replace all sides with the hero below's base sides, retaining your side's values and keywords. I guess the value does get a lot lower on them, unfortunately. So we now have heal 3, cleanse, cantrip. All of these are now heal on cantrip as well as vitality on cantrip and stuff like that. And then they have the ability to even give mana on cantrip. I don't even know if I like that, actually. I gave it an opportunity. I don't know if it's my kind of thing. Growth and mana gain on the top and bottom sides here for the profit. We have also these 5 decays and things like that. Kinda okay. Let's just have a look at all of the kinds of tools that we can get here. So, cleave error, quad use on the shield, absolutely not, obviously. 6 damage inflict use pain. The error double use vulnerable is very appealing. Actually, I would even be able to keep my quad, my quad enduring AoE on the Wanderer here. And duel to the leftmost side. Yeah, no one I know can actually hold duel. Pristine to the middle. I mean, I do probably prefer that on the defense from the Stalwart. Okay, So no one gets to hold the dueling pistol at this point. Is this Fence's double error use, is that so much better? Such as to justify this. Is, like, mycologist, what if you're incredible with this? There you go. I mean, it's 12 damage because of the Helm of Power, unfortunately. I mean, double use growth sides are actually kind of hilarious. This fight will go a little longer. I'm going to keep the error sides on Fencer. And I think the big reason I'm comfy doing this is because even if worst case scenario occurs, and this is dreadful, the Stalwart with the Mithril Shield should really be enough to keep us healthy and happy and safe, even through a mistake like that. Okay. Although, hang on, the Dragon Pipe could also go over to the Stalwart. But if the Dragon Pipe went over, they wouldn't be able to have the Mithril Shields as well as the Blue Skink. They can only have 2 at a time. Cool. Sorry, just still working through whether or not there's a better opportunity for the Blue Skink here. I think it's fine as it currently is. I mean, it's good. Let's be clear, it's actually good as it currently is. But could it be better? You know. Stalwart, it's very difficult to lock that in when you have cantrips on all of your other sides. Second die use in a turn is single use because of the Jinx S right now, which is why quad use is appearing single use for us. Unfortunately, the Stalwart had lost one of the defensive sides. Okay. Gotta say, not a huge fan of how little we managed to accomplish that round. I guess I really do need to just tread water until the Wanderer and the Fencer are ready to fight. Prophet, you can be a large part of healing people for readiness for that. And I'd like to kill the zombie in a single hit, if possible. 1 damage to all enemies, single use enduring. I can't buff the damage of that very effectively, unfortunately. Which means the Wanderer would basically just... I mean, it's good damage. Compared to everything else the Wanderer can do right now, it's good damage. I shouldn't turn it down. I'm just not excited about it. Okay, good rescue immediately. I'm gonna send 1 burst out to the Imp. 1, 2, 3. And then 4, final hit for the Wanderer. I should probably take down this Jinx before it summons bunch of weenies to the board. Mycologist, you don't have any problems with having inflict pain on your sides right now. Okay, cool. Prophet, you have such better sides than that available to you. Yeah, I guess we'll try those to keep the Fencer alive as well as take out an enemy. I don't think I can really keep the Mycologists alive this round, so I'm going to have them die. Heal up the Fencer. 1 instance of 4 damage takes a character off the field. Another instance of 4 damage. Single burst then takes... Sorry, 2 bursts, then take that demon off the field. Follow up with Soothe to try and get the party back. I mean, now the era really does take over the fight. Like, the Wanderer and the Fencer, it's not that they can do no wrong. They absolutely certainly can. But it's much harder for them to do now. 1 and 2, and there goes the imp. Level 20. Wizard versus Artificer. Wait a second. Blue Skink, let me look at you again. Replace all sides with the hero below's base sides. Retaining your sides, values, and keywords. I am concerned. Yeah, so that's 1 damage, W mana gain, 1 damage to all enemies cantrip, 1 damage to all enemies. It was cool. Now what if it was on the Prophet, and the Prophet had the ability to shield 4, perma boost, or shield 3, mana gain, or cantrip for 5 mana, or damage gain 5 mana. No matter what, 5 mana does need to be included. I think this is good. Can even shield 2 W's on the wizard, give it the helm in order to double up that. I mean, the Fencer being able to eliminate someone might be significantly better. Although you are the only person who can hold the wield at the moment there. Is there anything better I can do here? If I give this pristine, you don't inherit it, right? No. All right, Prophet. Simple. Just exist, honestly. Just be, I think, will be good enough for you. Everyone else. Watch, basically. Hexurinaments of imps. Ooh, immediately we get our 2 perma boost for a character. Fencer, you are not being directly targeted right now, but you are dueling, and that's good. I would really love the Prophet to hit either a cantrip space or the other space or this space. So there's 3 I want, and I have 2 more rerolls, so most of the time I see them again. There's 2 that are even completely fine with me in the shield and mana, so I don't think I really have too many possibilities of whiffing it all here. Stalwart, I would prefer you take out a target on field, but I don't want you to only have blanks next round. Oh! Okay. Okay, let's do this. Prophet. Fencer, you are now doing 18 damage, pristine and duel. Not right. That's not who we want to put that on. All right, let's give this a different look then. Wanderer, you may have 7 damage to all enemies, quad use enduring. By the way, that's your default from now on. 1, 2. Nope, can't save you from yourself on that one. If I burst and then defend you again. There we go. 1 more time, and then I only have to deal with Hexy by themselves as well as a single demon. It's just hard to heal them up enough. So, like, maybe I do want this fight to be much faster right now. No, I'm gonna let you summon that demon. Not that I really actually had a choice over that. They were summoning the demon either way. Prophet, you do still have that cantrip sign, which is still juicy AF. I'll take the mana gain side on you now, though. Be a bit more defense for my compatriots there on the top side. Okay. Generate a decent chunk of mana right there. Looking to inspire. You may strike again. Wait, hang on. Yeah, that's right. There. 1. 9 to the demon, and then burst, and burst takes you down. Yep. Woo! Oh, buddy. I loved that run. That was a good run. Look at this Wanderer. Look at this good boy. Making all this damage to all these different enemies at the same time. Look at the Star Wars. Look at this Fencer. Double and double and double and double and double. Look at this Prophet. Giving us ridiculous profit there with our Shield 4 single-use perma boost rescue. If only single-use was eliminated there and I could actually use this to rescue an entire party and then just everyone goes ridiculous. Who knows? Maybe that lays in our future. I do level down all of our characters to a Lost, a Hoarder, a Buckle, a Splint, and a Student. And we are now being offered timed blessings. A turn 3 heal to all allies of 3, as well as a shield of all allies of 3, and potential on turn 5, +3 to all allied signs. We, of course, will be selecting which of these we're going for in the next episode. Until then, my name is Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Slice and Dice. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully you've been enjoying the return of a daily series on a game like this that has just so many different little permutations to dig into, because I know I have. And hopefully we'll see you next time.